Level 1. Your life begins in a small, quiet house. Nothing fancy. No luxury cars, no giant mansion, just a normal neighborhood where kids ride bikes in the street and neighbors wave from their porches. Your father seems like an ordinary man. He wears simple clothes, drives an old car, and works long hours at what he calls business meetings. Sometimes you ask him what he does. He always smiles and says the same thing. Just boring office work. You believe him, because everything about your life feels normal. But there are small details that don't quite make sense. Your dad always receives strange phone calls late at night. He travels unexpectedly. Sometimes he disappears for days. And every time he comes back, he brings you small gifts from places you've never heard of. At the time, you don't think much about it. To you, he's just your dad. But one day, you begin to notice something strange. Something that will slowly change the way you see your entire life. Level 2. As you grow older, the small details become harder to ignore. Your father never worries about money. Even when things break, he replaces them instantly. School trips, medical bills, new computers, everything gets paid for immediately. But he still lives like a normal person. Simple house, simple clothes, simple life. Your friends' parents talk about jobs and salaries, but your father never does. Then one day at school, a classmate shows you a news article on his phone. It's about a mysterious billionaire, a business genius who owns multiple global companies. The strange part? No one knows what he looks like. No interviews, no photos, just a name. At first you don't care, until you see something that freezes you. The name sounds familiar, very familiar. Level 3. That night, curiosity keeps you awake. Your mind keeps replaying the name you saw in the article. It sounds almost identical to your father's. But that's impossible, right? Your father is just a normal businessman. Still, the thought refuses to leave your head. So the next day, when he leaves for work, you decide to look around. You walk into his office, a place he usually keeps locked. Today the door is slightly open. Inside the room, everything looks normal at first. A desk, some papers, a laptop. But then you notice something unusual, a safe hidden behind a painting. Your heart starts racing. Level 4. You hesitate for a moment. Opening the safe feels wrong, like crossing a line you can't uncross. But curiosity wins. Inside the safe you find documents, contracts, company papers, stock ownership records, and one thing that changes everything: a list of companies, massive companies, technology, energy, finance, shipping, companies worth billions, and every single one lists the same owner, your father. Your hands start shaking. Your dad isn't just wealthy. He's one of the richest people in the world, and he's been hiding it your entire life. Level 5. That evening, your father notices something immediately. The safe, it's slightly open. He looks at you, and he already knows. You found out. Instead of getting angry, he sighs, then sits down. It's time you knew the truth. Your father explains everything. Years ago, he built several companies. One success turned into 2. 2 turned into 10. Eventually, his wealth grew beyond imagination. But fame comes with danger. Kidnappers, extortion, enemies. So he made a decision. He would become invisible, a secret billionaire, someone who controls massive companies, but lives a completely normal life, for your safety and his. Level 6. After that day, your life begins to change. Your father slowly starts showing you the truth, the companies he built, the technologies they create, the global offices, private jets, hidden headquarters. It's like discovering an entirely different world, a world that existed right beside your normal life. But what surprises you the most is how little your father cares about the luxury. He still prefers the small house, the quiet neighborhood, the simple life. Because to him, power isn't about showing off. It's about control, level 7. But being a secret billionaire isn't just about success. There are enemies, corporate rivals, criminal organizations, people who want his power, and sometimes they try to find weaknesses. Your father explains the most important rule. No one can know who we really are. Not friends, not teachers, not anyone. Your normal life must remain normal, because the moment the world discovers the truth, everything becomes dangerous. Level 8. Over time, your father begins teaching you lessons, not about money, but about thinking, how to see opportunities others miss, how to stay calm under pressure, how to lead people, how to build things that last for decades. You start realizing something. Your father didn't become a billionaire by accident. He became one because he understands the world differently. And slowly, you start seeing the world that way too. Level 9. Years pass. You grow older, and the businesses keep expanding. One evening, your father shows you a massive screen filled with company data. Thousands of employees, millions of customers, entire industries connected together. Then he says something unexpected. One day, this will all be yours. The weight of those words hits you instantly. This isn't just wealth, it's responsibility. Millions of people depend on these companies, and someday, you may be the one running them. Level 10. One night, you and your father stand on top of a skyscraper overlooking a glowing city. Millions of lights stretching across the skyline. Businesses, homes, lives. Some of those buildings belong to companies your father created. Yet the world still doesn't know his face. He looks at you and smiles. Remember something important. True power doesn't need attention. It works quietly, from the shadows. And as you look out across the city, you realize something incredible. Your life was never normal. You were raised by a man who secretly built an empire. A man the world will probably never recognize, but whose influence is everywhere. And someday, that secret empire may become yours, because you aren't just the son of a billionaire. You're the son of a secret billionaire.